I think anyone who knows the Dexter Chamber at that time would say it was on life support with a kinked hose. We had no budget, we had no money, we had nothing but this idea that Dexter was different. I refer to Dexter as my Mayberry because it just has that small town, everyone knows each other and is looking out for each other, and it's beyond words. We have a new motto at the Chamber. We're trying not to suck anymore.
Welcome. My name's Steve Gwisdalla from the Sun-Times News with our guest today, Becky Cobler, who is the sitting president of the Dexter Chamber of Commerce. Becky, welcome.
Thanks so much, Steve.
We are happy to have you. You're here because of the work that you and your team have done with the Chamber and Dexter. But let's start with the basics. What is a chamber? And could you just explain it to people who maybe don't know?
I'm not sure that I know what a chamber is. It is the business connection to the community, and the organization that makes that happen would be the best way I could say it.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. I know what ours is.
Well, clearly it's working. Whatever your definition is working just fine. To kind of understand how this all comes to be, I'm interested in talking about you first, and just kind of who you are, how you came into this role, and kind of your story, if you will. So I leave you the floor. Tell us about you.
We'll stick to Cliff Notes and not Tolstoy here. I grew up on the West Coast in California. My father was a builder. My husband wasn't sure what he wanted to do when he grew up, so he joined the military, thinking we'd see the world. Spent 21 years in the military. The only foreign country we went to was Texas. They say you have seen the world if you're in Texas. But then we landed here. It was my 27th move.
27 moves.
I was not quite 43 years old.
Of all the places, of all the gin joints in all the world, right? Dexter, Michigan.
Yes, it was the Midwest culture and value system. Having grown up in where it is so power hungry and status oriented, we still had 2 kids at home, and we felt this was a really good place to finish raising our family.
That had to help you. That had to be a strength for you in so much as establishing, building, wash, rinse, repeat.
I think when you move a lot, you have kind of 2 options. You can be bitter and angry that you don't have roots, or you can value what is there. The community you meet, the people you find along the way, the adventure that life can be. And like so many things in life, whether it's half full or half empty, it is the perspective you take into it. And it got very hard on the kids. We can't make another move. The next move has to be home.
We're done at 27.
We were done. I had planted annuals my whole life, and I wanted to plant a tree.
What ultimately led you to get involved with the local Chamber of Commerce?
I met someone who was on the chamber, and we were just in casual conversation. He said, "I think you'd be really good at this." And I had no idea what a chamber was, what its purpose was, or anything else, but I was kind of like, let's give it a shot, see what it was. It was in really bad shape. The chamber was down to very few people. It was irrelevant in the city, and that was at the end of 19, and then we all know what happened in 20. In the process, I began to try to figure out what was a chamber, what was it supposed to do, how did it actually connect the businesses and the community and the citizens and all work together so that everyone was better because of it.
You said, I came in and didn't know a thing about the chamber. Did you find that to be a beneficial thing? 'Cause you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know what's failed before. You don't know what you're maybe allowed or not allowed to do. Did you find that to be a helpful? Was ignorance really bliss? That in that way?
It really was a really good point, because when you go in agnostically and don't have a personal agenda and you just want to figure it out and serve and make people's lives better. When I first joined the chamber, not knowing anything, I would go into the businesses and I would say, "Hi, I'm Becky Cobler from the Chamber." And you would see this wall go up, like, what do they want now? And then I would follow it by, we have a new motto at the Chamber. We're trying not to suck anymore. And it broke the ice, and it started to create relationships, and it gave to the people, I own the mess. I'm not trying to deny it. I'm not trying to say we're much better than we are. We weren't. We sucked, and we were trying to figure it out. We were trying to be different. And in our case, we ended up being very non-typical.
So how do you as the president, if I sat with the vice president and the secretary and the treasurer, what would they tell me about your leadership style as the president?
What I've been fortunate to do is to be surrounded by really smart people, a lot smarter than me, who have talents that I don't have, that I can trust because they are selfless and committed to our community. Building a chamber is very hard work, and you cannot do it with people who are there with a personal agenda. They want to build their network. They want to add something to their resume. They want to be known in the community because they are this. I do not exaggerate when I say most of our board members put in 10 to 20 hours a week of their own time to facilitate the activities of the board.
Fast forward now 5 years. Now what do you see the chamber providing the community that it wasn't providing before?
We used to have to go out and beat doors and try to coerce businesses to sponsor events. Now we have businesses who are calling us, saying, what's coming up? How can I get engaged? What do you need me to do? I've had businesses say, tell me, give me a number and I will write a check while we're talking. And the businesses are known because they're there, they make it happen. These events are free, and because the businesses will ante up and find their community important, not just a place to drop their brick and mortar and make money, but they actually are integral to the fabric of our city. It's created this really neat sense of community that I don't know if it's anywhere else. I refer to Dexter as my Mayberry, because it just has that small town, everyone knows each other and is looking out for each other, and it's a cool place. And having moved as much as I have, to have that root system and sense of permanence it's beyond words.
Some of the things that you guys have implemented over the last few years, just kind of roll through that list of the different things that you've done.
Okay, we start the year with the Ice Festival. We copied it off of Plymouth, give credit where it's due. But Dexter is one of those unique small towns where we actually have a park in the center, and not a highway going through. And so we had about 70 ice sculptures come in and live demonstrations, and the businesses give out cocoa and the kids decorate cookies. It's just really fun. And then right after Memorial Weekend on Friday nights, we have a free concert in the park, and we try to hit all the genres from country to Motown to jazz to blues to oldies. We got a lot of oldies. By 6, we've got about 100 people in the park, and then when the band starts at 6:30, we've got closer to 200 people. And then you look out an hour later, and there's somewhere between 400 and 700 people just all over the park, and kids are playing, and the people are connecting. I've met such wonderful people at the concerts because I wouldn't have met them any other way, and it's so cool. And then we do a 2-day summer festival where we bring in a lot of crafters and bands and music. And last year we added the parade that ended with a flash mob. I mean, it was just crazy. We had, even Debbie Dingle was dancing in the street, if you can believe that. And then we have a barbecue event in September. We do trick-or-treating in the park on Halloween. And then the first Friday in December, we bring in the real Santa. And we have a Light Up Dexter event that started just with one of our downtown business owners thought this would be cool. We'll bring in a bunch of Christmas trees. Businesses can light them up and decorate them however we want, and then we will have a countdown and we'll light the whole park up. Well, we had a sponsor and he said, we've got a connection to the Detroit Parade Santa Claus. How about if we bring him in next year? So Santa came in, then Mrs. Claus came in, and then, you know, it's cookies and cocoa for everyone. And this year we had a 30-foot Christmas tree lit up. I mean, it just keeps growing because it's loved and it's fun. And we're always thinking, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's, you know, as I said, throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. And, you know, don't get so invested that if we really suck at it, we can't admit that and scratch and move forward. But if it's good, next year, do better and better and better. And the community deserves it. And the businesses deserve it. And that we have the honor of facilitating it is just unimaginable to me, that we are so fortunate to have that level of connection.
There are people out there who are not from this area,
right,
that are saying that's not real. There's no communities really like that, and the chamber has an enormous hand in that, and a huge footprint. So, as a Dexter resident, I thank you. It's fantastic.
I'm glad we can do it for you, and I'm glad you enjoy it.
What's next for the chamber? Where do you see it going in the next 12 to 18 months?
To continue to grow. Dexter, as you know, is a tiny community. We're less than 3 square miles, but our school district is almost 90 square miles. So there's a huge reach of our community. And we have businesses in Chelsea who have joined the Dexter Chamber to be part of what we do. Confucius said, it doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop.
If you had a piece of advice for people out there, as a leader, as somebody who has seen all of the world, even Texas, and has lived out of a suitcase for decades,
yes,
what advice would you give people about being a leader in their community and being somebody that can help their community be better?
There's a saying that society grows great when old people plant trees in the shade they know they'll never sit. And I think having a vision to the future without a personal agenda and how it's going to impact me and how it's going to reflect on me and how everyone is going to see my glory because of it is really important. To set your eyes on a goal and a purpose and get your own damn ego out of the way and just keep moving towards that.
Keep making deposits.
Keep making deposits.
That's
keep
fantastic.
Watering that tree. Yes.
That's fantastic. Becky, thank you for joining us.
Thanks
I
so much,
really
Steve.
appreciate it. Until next time, this is Steve Gwisdalla from the Sun-Times News. Thank you.